Hello and welcome to Morehead Today. I'm your host, Gary Cornett. Today is Tuesday, October 4th, 2011. Morehead Today brings you local news and events, and we spotlight local artists and musicians. You can contact Morehead Today at moreheadtoday@gmail.com, and you can view our show at youtube.com/moreheadtoday. Please check out all of our MSU-TV programming at moreheadstate.edu/MSU-TV. On today's show, Landon Dickerson will stop by to show us some of his artwork, tell us about an upcoming exhibition, and more about Fuse the Muse. David Gillum and some other members of MSU-TV's News Center will tell us about their production. Jason McClurg takes us inside Morehead State Public Radio's annual fund drive, and will bring you the premiere at MSU of Coal Black Voices. Later on the show, Michael Farr will stop by and play a few tunes for us. Everyone, please stay tuned to Morehead Today. Welcome back to Morehead Today. I have with me in the studio today David Gillum, producer and news director of our sister program, News Center. Thanks for coming in, David.
No problem.
So tell us a little bit about what you do with News Center and MSU-TV.
I am the news director of MSU News Center. That means I make sure that all of my reporters are doing their jobs, doing what they need to do, and those jobs consist of going around on campus and basically reporting the news. When you sit down to watch a regular 5 o'clock news show on any other TV station, this is Morehead State's version of something like that. And we have reporters just like any other news station would, and they go out and find out what's going on campus, some newsworthy items, and they interview people and figure out what's going on so we can tell the students of Morehead what's going on their campus.
So are you doing this in preparation for a further career in media?
Definitely. One of the things I've always wanted to do was be a news director of an actual news station, something when I grow up, something bigger. And this is definitely something that's prepared me for it. I'm getting some real world experience, and it's allowing me to. It really helped me to learn how to work with people, learn how to guide people, be a leader. So.
Sounds great. We got to speak with Shelby Steele and Tyler McDaniel a little earlier in the week. We're going to take a look now at what they have to say about News Center.
Good deal.
I'm one of two producers for News Center. I'm the assignment editor, along with David Gillum, who is the news director. It's really my job to find news stories and assign them to the reporters that we have. Of course, during the show, I try to be a captain of the ship, so to speak, and keep time and be sure everything's organized and things like that. See, I started out as a camera person, and then I was assistant director, audio, technical director, and then director. Also did the lighting and setup for News Center. I've done pretty much everything in there.
In News Center, I've been a reporter, been lead anchor for 2 semesters. I've been assistant director and floor director. To be a reporter, we have a meeting once a week and we get our stories. Then it's up to us to do the rest. We have to go out on campus and talk to people to interview them. We have to edit our package. We have to do sound. We have to film it ourselves. We have to get B-roll. And it's very stressful but very fun at the same time.
I have considered the television industry, and MSU-TV has given me a very hands-on approach to how it's done, especially in the sense that we do News Center live, and in the industry, obviously they do TV news live.
I feel News Center has prepared me very well because now I get a feel for what each position does. It lets me know this is what I want to do because, I call my mom every week and I tell her, I'm like, if I didn't love to do this, it would be miserable for me because there's so much work behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. when we put on a show.
Stay tuned. Morehead Today will be right back.
Hey man, you're not supposed to be smoking on campus. Don't listen to him. It isn't like anyone's gonna know he's smoking a cigarette. That's a really bad idea. Remember, Morehead State University is a tobacco-free campus.
Welcome back to Morehead Today. This week marks Morehead State Public Radio's annual fund drive. Jason McClurg stopped by to check out all the activity.
I did. I got to sit down with Paul Hitchcock. He showed me around the studio. He showed me some of how the money would be spent, how they're raising money, and just some of the general activities of the fund drive.
This is a pretty big event for them every year. They have food and have a lot of guests come in the studio, and it's kind of an open house so that they can show off what they do.
It is. It's a very big event for them. That's where a lot of their funding comes from for the fiscal year, and it's very important because they're a very vital service to the community.
They're a publicly funded radio station, the NPR affiliate.
Yes, they are.
Sounds pretty good. Let's take a look at what's going on at Morehead State Public Radio.
This week, Morehead State Public Radio is hosting their annual Fall Fund Drive. Morehead Today sat down with Paul Hitchcock, General Manager at Morehead State Public Radio, to tell us a little bit more.
Morehead State Public Radio was founded back in 1965, and we have been here at the campus of Morehead State University throughout that time. We serve our mission to the community, to the region, to offer programming that is informative, educational, and a variety of news and entertainment, music variety that is really hard to find on any commercial station in the region. We offer hands-on opportunities to students. Our current fund drive continues through Friday, October the 7th, and we're asking our listeners to support the programming that they enjoy. The feedback on our programming is just as important as listener gifts, and we want to hear from our listeners. Let us know the programming that they enjoy, comments on our programming, any suggestions for changes. And then also, if they would like to put a dollar amount value to that listening that they have, whatever they can give certainly helps us. And then the money that we receive helps us to get matching grants from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. So we really rely on our listeners. And each year, our listeners come through with about $60,000 to $70,000, which is almost half of what we receive from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. So it's vital that we hear from our listeners this week, not only for their gifts, but also for their comments on our programming. Listeners can call in at 783-2001. That's our number here in Morehead, or toll free 1-800-286-9659. They can also go to our website, which is MSUradio.com. We have a form on there, and it's real easy to do. In fact, if you want to give us a lot of comments, I suggest you go to our website because you can take your time and really put your thoughts to paper.
If you would like to make a donation, you can call the station at 783-2001 or toll free 1-800-286-9659. For Morehead Today, I'm Jason McClurg.
So you know what you're going to do now?
Well, I just got out of class.
Hey guys, there's a Halloween costume contest going on. You want to go?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Welcome back to Morehead Today. Last week I went and saw the showing of Coal Black Voices, which is directed by Gene Donahue. It showcases African American poets in the Appalachian region, or as they like to refer to themselves as Affrilations. It was a very good film. Very good turnout, a lot of refreshments afterwards. There was a Q&A with the director, and I got to speak with her for a few moments about the film. Let's take a look. Coal Black Voices is an intimate mosaic of images, poetry, and storytelling by the Affrilachian poets as they give glimpses of life in the American Black South and the Appalachian region. The documentary was put together by Media Working Group and directed by Gene Donahue. Morehead Today spoke with Donahue about the film.
Coal Black Voices features a collective of African American poets who claim their Appalachian and African American heritage and celebrate that in their poetry. One of the reasons why Fred Johnson and I decided to produce the film was to to show how there was a gap in the Kentucky literature landscape, and we felt like that the Appalachian poets were having a very exciting impact on the social and cultural fabric of Kentucky, and so we decided to try to capture that. And the film features only 10 of the poets, which was a lot, but we tried to capture the energy and the spirit and the thinking behind the Appalachian poets, and that's what this film is about. And one of the interesting things I believe about it is the format of the film is different than what you might expect. It takes readings, but applies without trying to literally visualize the poems. We tried to provide a feeling and an emotional tone to it so that the piece actually flows like a poem. If you're paying attention, you might see that. But it's produced by myself, Jean Donahue, and Fred Johnson, and we're members of Media Working Group, which is a cooperative of filmmakers.
For Morehead Today, I'm Michael Farr.
When you get dirty, you need to wash your hands. Left to wipe out before you eat. Left to playing in the street. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Everybody wash your hands. 'Cause being clean is the way to be.
Welcome back to Morehead Today. My guest today in the studios is Landon Dickerson, local artist. Tell us a little about your upcoming exhibition.
Well, Gary, thanks for having me. We've got a series of events coming up at the Round County Arts Center. One of such will be the Sounds of Salvage, which is a program that I've facilitated, which is just going to be a showcase of a variety of instruments that I've made out of recycled or salvaged materials from different areas. And it's just going to be a performance, and I think I'm actually going to showcase a few string instruments that I didn't bring with me today because we're kind of saving that for icing on the cake. But I've got a few hand percussions and a few shakers and several different things. I think there's going to be a lot of instruments that people are going to really enjoy and be really excited about, to see that you can make instruments from just about anything. And that's kind of the whole means of this, is to get people, especially some of your viewers on campus and faculty included, to come down and hang out with us and get to share in some of the instruments that I've made. So
Sounds pretty good. Tell us a little bit about a few of your creations here.
Well, to the right here we've got some cajones. They're a Peruvian hand instrument, and I've made this. The only part about these instruments are that aren't made or found by me are the snare kits. They actually have a snare in them. I can give you a quick demonstration. The cajon is a Peruvian hand instrument that was kind of indigenous to the slave trade. The slaves at the time weren't allowed to have instruments or weren't permitted to use instruments, and obviously hand percussions and drums are a huge part of the African culture. And it kind of made its way over into South America during the fishing trade, and they actually played beats on fish crates because they were used for, they were involved in some of that fishing industry. So they played a lot of their traditional beats on fish crates. So this is kind of the grandson per se of that Peruvian hand instrument, and I can give you a quick demonstration here. And this, the front of this cajon here was actually painted by a local artist by the name of David Kemp. I've been trying to fuse my interest in instruments with local artists within town and on campus, but here we go. We'll give it a little shot. So that's a little bit of the cajon, and this is another one that I'm planning on putting a motorcycle seat on this one. So if anybody on campus or any of the staff or the students have any idea of, or maybe have a clue of a really vintage motorcycle seat, I'm still waiting for the perfect seat for that one. And on this cajon here, I've already got a seat, and this one's kind of a finished product. This is more of a little rougher style, but it's... So they all have their own voice, and that's kind of what I like about making the handmade instruments. Every instrument here has its own voice, and that's kind of something that I'm pursuing, is creating instruments that are obscure and that have their own unique sound.
All right. Tell us a little about these.
The didgeridoo, my heart. I think a lot of people have heard the term didgeridoo, but they haven't really seen one, maybe in person, or maybe seen it in photos or in books and whatnot. But this is a Aborigine instrument. So this instrument right here was made out of recycled PVC pipe off a job site, which you can most usually salvage. I wouldn't suggest going and stealing any materials. Always ask before you get materials from any facility. But this actually came from a job site here in Morehead. But with this instrument, all you do is you just you put some compression turns, and yet again you got to be careful about certain things like the toxicity of this instrument. Like if you burn this PVC pipe, it is hazardous, so I don't suggest burning it. This is with a heat gun, aside from using a torch, but I can give you a quick demonstration. And traditionally these are made out of wood, hollowed out by termites. But yet again, I'm trying to focus on salvaged materials, recycled materials, and instruments that really aren't indigenous to this area, but that that we can make and manifest out of products that we can find lying around. So I'll give you a quick demo. This is pretty sketchy, so we'll see what. This is hard to play. Wait, hold on. I'm not hearing it right. That's a little bit different than how you would hear a traditional didgeridoo played. I kind of, had my own spice into it, a little bit of beatbox. But the thing with the didgeridoo, it's really hard. It's a lot of lungs, a lot of mouth movement. So what you're trying to do is play what they call a drone. But it's got a pretty interesting sound, and yet again, the different lengths, different compression turns, yet again gives it a different voice. So
very nice. So tell our viewers one more time where they can catch your exhibition and what else is going on at the Round County Arts Center.
Well, the Sounds of Salvage exhibit, and I'll be doing a performance of some of the instruments that we have here and more, including string instruments. Will be October the 19th at the Round County Arts Center, which is the old courthouse here in town, close to campus. So there's no reason for a lot of the students and faculty to come down and participate in that and come and share in some of these creations. And that's what I made them for. I didn't make these, or I'm not spending time making these instruments for them to lie around. I like to see people play them. I love to trade for anybody that's watching or listening. I love to trade for other pieces of artwork or just throw me an offer. But I really want to get people on these instruments and get them used and kind of give them some love. But October the 19th at the Round County Arts Center. It starts at 7:30. It's not a far walk from campus. It's just right down the street here. So I'm hoping that everybody will come out and
check out Sounds of Salvage. Morehead Today will be right back.
Welcome back to Morehead Today. I'm Michael Farr, a segment producer on the program, and I'm going to play a couple of my tunes. This first one is called Being a Ghost.
He grew up in a coal mining town. Wasn't much at all to do around. Out of the hollow his shadow arose, and he plunged toward the darkness all alone. Concrete jungle is where he arrived. From day one he learned it was hard to stay alive. And when the sun gave way to the night, found himself in a fading spotlight. It ain't easy being a ghost, and everyone is expecting the most. There's no food and bills to pay. It ain't easy being a ghost. Loud in the tunnels behind the county line, hands in the graveyard where the souls all lie. Hard to expect any better days when everyone you know is just drifting away. It ain't easy being a ghost, and everyone is expecting the most. There's no food and bills to pay. Well, it ain't easy being a ghost. This cardboard cutout of his hero by the door just doesn't have that same meaning anymore. As he learns it's hard to swallow his pride. This is where the good inside people die. It ain't easy being a ghost, and everyone is expecting the most. There's no food and bills to pay. It ain't easy being a ghost.
When you're thirsty, are you going to depend on a crumpled old dollar? Remind yourself to always bring your Eagle card. Dude, you need the Eagle card. Always keep beaker bucks loaded onto your Eagle card just in case. It's the fastest way to make all of your on-campus purchases.
Welcome back to Morehead Today. I'm Michael Farr. I'm a segment producer on this program.
I'm going to be featured on the MSU radio program Signal in the Sky. It will be aired on the MSU website on the 12th of October. And I'm going to play a cover here. This is an Avett Brothers tune. Sweet as the summertime, strong as the sunshine, and I don't wanna know it. Let myself down. I'm as cold as a winter storm, soft as a grindstone, and I can't do a thing to let my life down. Why do you amaze me? Why do you amaze me? Why do you fool me into thinking that I'm kind of in love with you? She's as good as a mystery, a salesman of misery, and I'm bankrupt, dead to my knees, big brown eyes and curly hair. I wonder if she sees my stare. I can't say why I've fallen. Baby, please have mercy. Why do you amaze me? Why do you amaze me? Why do you fool me into thinking that I'm kind of in love with you? Well, we sink like a ball and chain. If I knew more than your first name, those eyes, you can't fool me. I know where this goes. We wrap ourselves in conversation to tell you lies and try my patience to bite my tongue in frustration. You slap my face. Why do you amaze me? Why do you amaze me? Why do you fool me into thinking that I'm kind of in love with you? Why do you amaze me? Why do you amaze me? Why do you fool me into thinking that I'm kind of in love with you?
When you got some homework and you need a place to go. When you're working on a project and your computer is slow. There's a little place on campus that I think that you should know about. The first story of the library is what I'm talking about. Walk past Java City and then you will see the new commons area is where you should be. They got computers and printers, couches, tables and more. It's the perfect place to go for study time galore.
Welcome back to Morehead Today. That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for watching. We'd like to remind you that you can contact Morehead Today at moreheadtoday@gmail.com, or you can view our show at youtube.com/moreheadtoday. Please check out all of the MSU-TV programming at moreheadstate.edu/MSU-TV. We'd like to thank David Gillum, Michael Farr, Tyler McDaniel, Shelby Steele, Gene Donahue, Landon Dickerson, Paul Hitchcock, and the staff of Morehead State Public Radio for coming on our show today. Everyone tune in next week. For the entire staff of MSU-TV, I'm Gary Cornett, and that's what's happening in Morehead Today.